Hello dear students, back with another series of answers and questions, and let's begin with Jorgen from Sweden. And he says, thanks for the really good lesson about the four phases of light. I've seen many versions of this lesson through time, but this was special. But I have never understand one thing. A kli represents a desire in Kabbalah. A creature consists of many desires, and the sum of them are the creature's heart. In this lesson about the four phases, a kli represents the creature. My question is, how can a kli represent a creature in this lesson when you earlier taught that the creature consists of many desires?
Yeah, you actually told that. It's very it's in the beginning it's a bit unclear, so we should maybe explain it better. We spoke about the 620 desires combining a person's heart, and then you spoke of the only one desire of the kli is a sum of them all. Maybe you should explain this one.
We can say very generally that the kli or the creature is made of 620 desires. However, at the beginning he only reveals in the first phase, one desire to receive, general desire. He doesn't have any discernments in this will to receive, and as we know, there are many discernments. Then he discovers a will to bestow, then another will to receive in order to bestow, and then the big desire to receive, to enjoy the state of the Creator. We are speaking now about four phases of the creation of the big desire. Then we will see with the development of all of the desires through the tzimtzum and the masach and all of the construction of Parzuf and the worlds and the shattering of the soul and everything, we will reveal 620 desires. And to us, for the time being, we have only one desire in its six aspects, as we learned.
Yeah, it may be easiest to compare it to the conceiving of a child. That's in the beginning just one combined cell. It's one cell, and then it begins to part itself again and again and again and again and again until a very complicated creature is born. But in the beginning, we're speaking about like this one kli. This is the beginning of it all. And after that, and we will study it also in the course, that will develop and develop and develop. But for the start, this is it: the desire to receive. Later we will see the different forms of it, but this is the basic. William from France, how to understand love? I'm not talking about the love of the ego, because no matter the fine quality we identify with it, whether eternal, conscious, and well considered, good or ideal for society, everything that is on the edge of our world is imperfect. So can we say that the love of altruism could be approved in this case to achieve a higher level of spirituality? What is love?
Well, we can repeat the second or third lesson of the first semester, and to understand that in our world, in our existence, we don't have any love in the Kabbalistic terms. Not only Kabbalistic, but as a means of going out of the ego. Out of the ego means out of any benefit which will come for me, outside of any outcome. And in our world, Baal HaSulam says that there are 90% egoists, healthy egoists, and 10% altruists, which are egoists but like opposite ego, inverse.
Yeah, enjoy the giving.
Yeah, if I give and I enjoy, it fulfills me. It's another type of egoism. Why ego? Because we're speaking about the connection between us. And when altruists and egoists, we want everything to save the bears, the polar bears, or to save Antarctica, or to save the green woods, or to save the ants, or even people, sometimes. But when we're speaking about connection, the connection between us, this repels anyone, a true connection. And this is why only through the light that reforms we can attain a true desire to overcome this, and yes, that this will become a necessity. Otherwise, yes, we're all in this black box of the ego. Some of us imagine that we are giving, some of us imagine that we are taking, but the intention is always the same, to receive.
Yes, maybe, yeah, in one sentence, love in spirituality that we are talking about is the complete will to work with another desire, not with mine, to fulfill another person, let's say, completely, and like just even see the world from another desire. So this is maybe the simplest explanation for now.
Jacques from France is saying, how do you work reading or intensive meditation, or rereading or intensive meditation and thought? Lights that I manage to see and ideas that I find in the lessons are for me. What does it mean in France? I don't know. New vanity. I think we can go to another world view and return to the Creator. I should have shown you this question in France.
Yeah, maybe
in French.
we are missing the French context. Yeah. You are saying about how you are probably asking how to work with all that you learn in a lesson, how to reread and understand everything that we learned. This is how I understand this question. And you already have the right answer, since I understand that you wrote this question on Facebook, right? So this is already the right question, the right answer to your question. The best way to deal with all the new material that you've learned in the lesson is to speak about it in the environment. And for now, Facebook is the environment. Ask your questions there, or ask us, and speak with the other students. This is the best way. You can reread what we've read. You can hear the lesson again, and you will hear that the next time you hear it, you hear totally different things than for the first time. But it's less about meditation as we know it from this world, from all the kind of practices. It's just reading and letting the material come through and letting the light work on me. And also working with the environment. Those are the three things really that you have to do after the lesson.
Johan, how do you say it in French?
Johan, Johan.
Okay, so my girlfriend told me about the development of our child. She's pregnant.
Mazal tov.
Good luck. And especially during the 5th month of the inner ear is connected to the brain, and the child reacts more to what is happening outside. I could not help the development of the sixth sense and the desire to know the spiritual world. Do you have any experience like this that brings you this kind of spiritual discernment?
I've actually read this question at home and I don't really understand it until the end. Let's put it piece by piece. Yes, first of all, yes, the development of the child in the woman's womb has really a meaning. Okay, it has a certain logic how things develop, but we don't want to go into it now because it's just going to make us more troubled. This is not for now. The sixth sense doesn't have anything to do with the body. It is an additional sense that's not physical and that you develop in the right environment between friends. This is the desire for spirituality that you can only, that really doesn't, it doesn't develop during pregnancy. It doesn't have anything physical in it. It's purely spiritual. And well, what else can we say on that? Spiritual discernment. I would advise you in the beginning not to try to connect too much to physical things with the things we're learning in the learning center, because it brings, it's just
Confusion.
It's just confusing. Don't try to connect those things too much. Hold them apart, and with the time, the spiritual things, the things that you learn in Kabbalah will explain many of the physical things, but give it some time. It's not right in the beginning.
And we need to remember definitions. Sixth sense is something that we don't have now. It's something outside of the ego, as if we're trying to translate this term sixth sense into Kabbalistic terms. It's the point in the heart which is connected to the soul. This is how I begin to perceive the upper worlds. How do I do it? How do I connect everything? We have some experiences during congresses, and when we attract delighted reforms, by connecting, by exerting ourselves to connect, this is how we influence the upper system to work upon us. This is really all of the laws that we're now studying in the introduction to the wisdom of Kabbalah.
Guys, really, one last sentence. Maybe we should keep the original language in it, and please try to keep the questions very simple, because after the translation we have hard times to understand it, and it's really important for us to understand your questions really as they are. So keep them short and keep them simple.
Let's do just one last question, because
yes.
I like it. John from the UK, how did the Creator give the commandments? Well, you remember, on the mountain, everyone is down, and only Moses is climbing the mountain 40 nights, 40 days, not eating, and then a hand comes from the sky or clouds, giving him 2 stones, and Moses is carving, and this is how God gave the commandments, no?
Probably not.
Okay. So? Me?
You.
Okay.
I've had some hard ones already, so it's yours.
These 10 commandments are things that are perceptions, are laws felt by the Kabbalists who attain this the receiving of the Torah, the first receiving of light, the crossing the barrier. It feels like the first 10, let's call it sfirot or laws of existence. How can he work with the rest of the souls, with the rest of the parts of his soul? And if you look closely at the commandments, following the language of the branches, you will see that everything which is spoken there, it's all about the laws of how to prevent myself of using the will to receive with others. Thou shalt not covet, thou shalt not, steal. Steal is using the will to receive. Okay? Not to kill is using the will to bestow, but with the intention to receive. So all of these are degrees of not using the will to receive. You shall have only one God, right? None else besides Him. You will see that each one of these commandments are the laws of how to become one who bestows. So until next time.
See you.